Stand to my quarters, and welcome back to another episode of RogueTech as we get into the campaigns of Howl's Harrows. And last time, unbeknownst to me, although I had actually commented in the episode, we got ourselves a bushwhacker. I will show you the bushwhacker later on, but for now, throw it on the side. Smugglers funded by Davian have set up just outside our borders, causing an ongoing problem for Tortugan operations. We'd like to cut the head of this particular snake with a target limited and deniable strike on the leader. Ideally, this will shut them down permanently. This will be a 3-skull, 3 of 13 priority salvage, 363,600 C-bill assassination missions. So that means the most possible numbers of incoming enemies. Well, unless you're playing attack and defend, in which case then it gets a little bit ridiculous on higher difficulty levels. So dropping into 3 skulls really puts us in a pretty interesting, difficult spot, but hopefully we'll be able to pull it through. The enemy is way off in the distance, and luckily for us, we should be able to intercept whatever supporting lance this happens. No, this is apparently to destroy all smuggler forces, and the reinforcements are already on top of the primary target. Okay, with that sorted out of the way, we have pretty much the standard go-to lance at this point. We have Death Crusade in the Shadowhawk with its MML 40 risk launchers for all kinds of crazy accuracy and long-range shenanigans. And then we have the Griffin with its single thunderbolt and triple missile. It has proven to be a little bit more useful than I otherwise thought it was going to be. I still have some fairly significant modifications I want to make to it, but most of those modifications got thrown into the bushwhacker, so I'm going to see what I can't do to modify this in the near future, aside from just, turning all the medium lasers to large lasers, but we'll have to find out that. Paradox in the Wolverine, which has gone unchanged for a very long time. Howl in the MML-equipped snub-nosed PPC Gladiator. Mockingbird driving the Burner Boy because she has higher enough abilities in order to handle it. Paladin in the Shadehawk with its single Gauss rifle because Paladin has reached Gunnery 7, and so now I want a little bit more reliability out of the Blackwell Gauss rifle. Finn in the Javelin with all of its modifications, and Coach in the Kitsutsuki for lots of DACA. So with that out of the way, let us begin our hike through the woods, no less. So a nice, calming, enjoyable hike through mountainous terrain. Well, not that mountainous, hilly terrain. So this is a perfect autumn hike, and I hope that you're all enjoying as we join on for this particular style of hike. It seems to be the perfect sort of stroll that you would have on, well, say a lazy Sunday or something like that, watching the leaves turn, and, well, probably not stomping, 55-ton mechs on through all the forest, but hey, apparently we're nimble enough to be able to avoid most of these forests, so I'm going to say ecological disaster avoided, at least until Mockingbird starts shooting. In that case, suddenly ecological disaster confirmed, although we have quite a few mechs that actually have Inferno rounds at this point, so that might be just lots of pain for the force in general. We should probably avoid the Amazon for the foreseeable future, at least until we modify our mechs in general in order to make them a little less burny, I suppose would be the way to put it. So getting just everybody rotated on forward. Fielding 2 full lances does require a little bit of extra work. However, it is a lot more fun because you get a lot more options on what we can do. Darius, there's no crossfire. We've got about a week before we can actually get to the enemy. And once that happens, then we can really cut things in. Now, something I have been wondering about is there are more things that I can do to sort of, shorten some of these periods, like the walk up to. I'm curious and interested if you guys want to continue just watching sort of the run up to a fight, unless something, specifically happens, in which case I'll show that more on screen, or if you guys would prefer that we just keep it as normal, or change it so I cut out all of this section in here and loading screens. I asked this once before. People didn't really seem to mind the way that the game was being played, but with 8 mechs and, well, a map that's 4 times the size of the original, it can take a little while, but I enjoy our little fireside chat, so whatever that means for you guys. One thing I would really hope is that someday this Phoenix Hawk will have a Gauss rifle on its arm so we can actually, use it. Although heavy metal is coming in a few months, so hopefully that'll bring a whole bunch of brand new mech skeletons that mod makers will be able to take use of and give even more capability to. There are a limited number of objects on each actual chassis itself that can be used for mod makers to put on all of the weapons. It's why the Burner Boy has, or not the Burner Boy, but the Drop Bear over in Apollo's Vipers has a gigantic cannon on the chest instead of the MRM launcher that should be there, because there wasn't an MRM launcher on it, or any missile tubes of any kind, actually. And it's also one of the reasons why things like, again, over on the Apollo's Vipers campaigns, the Stormcrow that they have, the Mama Bird, is equipped with an Ultra Autocannon 5 as well as a Gauss rifle, but it shows a really big bore cannon, and that's because they just didn't have enough stuff to throw on Ultra Autocannons onto everything. But yeah, the more you know. So if you've ever been wondering why there's some really odd things about how certain mechs are set up in terms of what weapon shows up, that's your answer. And now we can move forward into the glorious sunlight, although actually we're moving into the sun, it appears, which is a little less than ideal. I mean, our sensor system should be able to take care of any sort of interference we might otherwise sustain on that, but fighting in towards the sun is never quite a great idea, so we probably picked the wrong moment to actually begin this assassination. Probably would have been better, 12 hours ago or in the future, or at some point where the sun would be at our backs, so we can charge on forward into the enemy with them not actually realizing what's about to happen to them. So Jester gonna have to continue on with his Griffin. It doesn't have jump jets, which is a bit weird for me. Normally I tend to give my Griffins jump jets because the name. Griffin involves some sort of flying animal. Clearly I should put jump jets on it. Well, not this time, although Burna Boy actually does have lots of jump jets. I think we're equipped with 6 of them at this point. It flies very, very far and is quite effective while doing it. Just going to continue the train rolling, getting into a bit of a convoy formation here, with our mechs getting a little bit strung along. Phase 15, so the enemy has to cycle through all of their mechs. So we're dealing with at least 12 to 15 mechs, could be as many as 16, I suppose, if that's an entire full lance attached to the assassinate target. But I'm going to hope for 15, or less than that. 12 would be better. But it's probably not going to be that because that would involve some short lances. Keep the javelin, a surge on a forward, make sure that we use the run command so that we don't actually fall too far behind. Although he's definitely getting out a little bit far in the distance. What have we located? We have a Catapult 3 CPLT-R2. Not quite sure which version of this is. I always freak out about Catapult 3s because, well, Lady Electo's Catapult 3 is a Catapult 3 and that becomes scary. We have an Einfield, an END6Q. No idea, never seen it before. Has a ballistic and a whole couple of energies. And then off in the corner, I'm going to guess that you're a Yellow Jacket. Yeah, it's a Yellow Jacket, 30 tons. We don't know what kind of gun it has on board. So, a couple of mediums and a Yellow Jacket. I anticipate there's another mech somewhere off in the distance that we haven't quite identified, but at least now we know what we're getting into before, the rest of this can show up. Although that's not as far of a distance. Oh, we've got a Balak. I'm not sure what a Balak has. We had one once in the stream recently. However, I didn't actually pay attention to what it was equipped with because it was pretty terrible. So we do have a Balak sort of flanking in a round. We're going to see how the enemy responds. We are fairly well protected in this javelin. We've got lots of evasion. We have electronic countermeasures. We're not quite in the forest, but he's a catapult with... Oh, suspiciously accurate missiles. Right. So we're going to have to pull the javelin back because that was a little bit too accurate for me. Want to risk a little bit longer. Although it's mostly his arms that took the damage. And there's actually nothing in those arms. However, you should actually be... Yep, Thunderbolt range has been achieved. So I can provide a little bit of love. I just want to taste something because I do have ammunition specifically for this. So if I set this sucker to... Oh, hang on. Set it to HE Thunderbolts. There we go, high explosive. And if I set it for an attack ground location, let's see what happens, just to test an argument that we've had recently. Okay, so it got a little bit of damage on target. Nothing too serious, but the 6% wasn't going to hit anyway. So just a little bit of damage splashing off by using HE rounds instead of direct fire. And if I can get augmented thunders on this, that might end up working out a little bit better, just to give it some more long-range push. Yeah, a little tiny bit of damage onto the catapult, so it now has to deal with that. However, the electronic countermeasure system that it has on board is going to be irritating to deal with, to say the least. Phase 17, I don't... Yeah, the rest of us have already gone, it seems, unless Howl and Mockingbird are about to come up. Oh, they are. Okay. Alright, so I don't think Howl's going to be able to get in range. The Snubdust PPCs have some good range on them, but not that good. Mockingbird absolutely will not be able to get within range. I mean, we can jump for it, but we could run a little bit further, and we're going to do exactly that. If I can get the Burna Boy on target soon, we can get a lot of work done. Missed by 55%, but that's okay. Nothing too serious. The Burna Boy cannot attack the Yellow Jacket or the Balak over there in the corner, so that is a mild concern. I wouldn't say anything huge, but it is something we're going to have to keep in mind. I'm a bit surprised that the Ultra Autocannon doesn't have a reach for this, just because it's a fairly light and fairly, not light, but long-range, kind of anti-aircraft gun almost. Alright, so we're moving most of the heavies on up. However, our little light scout element is already engaged. We're going to have to do something about that soon. The Shadehawk, ooh, does actually look like it's got a chance to make a shot, and it's a side angle, too. 24%, yeah, take the shot. Missed by 41%. Okay, not the most brilliant start ever, but hey, I was asking him to make a shot that he should only have been able to hit 1 in 4. So not the worst thing in the world. Plus, he can jump down from that. There's no issues there. The mech is extremely chill. When your only weapon is a single Gauss rifle, heat is not really an issue. Like, they can come at you with thermal barrack explosions, and you're just not going to care, because you'll be able to wade on through all the fire. Phase 13, the Einfield is on the roll. Large laser, large pulse laser. Okay, so that's some interesting, good technology. So large pulse laser is generally not something that we use because we tend to lean over into larger ballistics whenever we can. But a large pulse laser would be something worth grabbing. Also has fairly decent range onto it. Any sort of other long-range fire support? I have to just hope that you guys are not going to have the capability to provide any assistance on this while I sort of, well, wrecking ball my way through all these guys. Once we get up there anyway. The Javelin, not quite sure what I'm going to do about that. I may run the Javelin to see if we can't go after the Yellow Jacket, especially if the Yellow Jacket moves up to about here. I might actually have the speed to get in somewhere over here and just fire at it. No, he's making a lateral move, so he's not going to get much closer at all. In fact, he's going to move outside of our sensor range. We're going to have to do something about that soon. Phase 20, none of my people scored above that, although we're all 19 and 18, so that's pretty good. Howl, I doubt you're going to get within range. Death Crusade, Finn's Javelin. I want Finn's Javelin to engage this catapult. We still don't know what kind of weapons he's got. We just know he's a CPLT R2. So, catapult 3s. I could just run right up on into him, but that's a fairly slow movement, and if we were trying to make this engagement, it would not be the greatest of accuracy, although we would be within point-blank melee range. I could go for the full sprint to get into 6, and that might give me just a little bit more. I mean, it would. For a fact, it would. So let's go take a peek. Alright, so we have identified the Yellow Jacket. Oh god, I think he might be equipped with a whole bunch of support weapons, by which I mean calling in all kinds of barrage and thermobaric explosions. Yeah, that's a problem. Unfortunately, I don't have a shot on him, so shoot the back of this, and maybe we'll induce a bit of friendly fire, because he's going to have some barrage weapons, and that's going to be painful to deal with. Howl probably can't get in range. Coach, on the other hand, is actually fairly good at super long-range fire support. After all, it is a Kitsutsuki, which is equipped with a Rack 2. Unfortunately, he's currently being blocked, so I will just run everybody on forward. We'll see if we can't get them attracted to my little band of ruffians for now. 2.2% is not worth it. We're just going to hold position. Coach, Kitsutsuki does have an angle now that it can move on through, although there's that angle. All right, what do we got? 10%. I'll run it. So 3 shots, not able to connect. That was a 1/3 chance of actually getting a single shot on that one. So not exactly the greatest thing ever. Death Crusade, on the other hand, and the Shadowhawk, I do anticipate he'll do a little bit better because he's equipped with a lot of LRMs. So 20% on that, 9% of the Yellow Jacket. Yeah, I'm going to feed him the LRMs because it's going to take me a little while to actually get within range. Got a couple of hits, nothing too serious, although he was dealing 6 damage per hit. MMLs? No, not MRMs. Is it? Can I get the Burna Boy on position? Kind of. Okay, 6.2. Can I jump further? No, jumping is less. Jumping is significantly less. So I'm going to... that would be 6.2. It's the same as always, so we'll just get right there. Just outside the range. We do see the on-field, but I am going to just try and light him on all the fire. Because even if I miss and I start a fire around him, that's okay. Didn't actually hit him, and apparently we didn't start any fires anywhere near him, which is a bit unfortunate. We'll get the Griffin to come on in for another sort of long-range strike. We'll probably just attack the ground again, because, yeah, 15%, 17%. Alright, so high explosive. Ooh, we can't. If we might accidentally hit our own people. I'm going to see if it works in Yellow Jackets, because they're not particularly well armored. It does. Ooh, that might be a way that we actually get a little bit of damage down, so that could work out all that well. Paladin in the Shadehawk could come surging on forward. We'll get up to another hill. Just sort of climb every mountain on this one. 24% is the best I can get. I'm not going to shoot that catapult down to 24. So send a shell over in his direction. Another miss at 12%. Probably should hold back on firing a little bit more because the Blackwell Gauss only has so much ammo. Unfortunately, he doesn't have much of a backup. So he is a little bit more designed for shorter engagements, which we're starting to move not away from, just in slightly different directions. 16, 20. I'm going to keep the pressure up on the catapult as best as I can because I'd want to knock this thing out before it can actually do anything. Hopefully it will not hurt me too badly. You do have an ECM bubble and it is currently covering him a little bit, so we're jamming the catapult a little bit effectively. The problem is he's just not running as quickly as I kind of would like him to, because if he was really running at the speed I want him to, he'd be untouchable. Unfortunately he's down to 3 instead of, higher. Catapult could probably maneuver to get a back shot on this one. However, if he does that, he'll definitely open himself up to the Burner Boy coming right on top of him. Ooh, you're also providing. So we've got to really take care of this Yellow Jacket soon. Catapult gonna back on up. Going to take a shot at the side. Nope, he's just going to shoot right at the front. 7 damage. We've made him unsteady. That's extra bad because now he's got several mechs that are actually looking his way. Oh, he's going to spread out, but the AMS. Oh, getting in there. All right, we got to get that Griffin up sooner. Oh, so this is definitely the MRM-30 catapult. So he's got 2 medium pulse lasers and 2 MRM-30s for a lot of damage at close range. We're going to have to get this mech out of here because the Javelin kind of did its job, but oh god, the side field can hurt. Oh, okay, so he's got an LBX. Pulse laser getting quite a few good shots on it. Looks like he didn't make it super bad in terms of... instability, although it's definitely getting close. And a single medium laser over towards the burner boy. That's not going to help him. The burner boy is going to come right up on top of this catapult and light it on fire. It's actually okay on heat. So we've used this catapult a couple of times. It's one of the catapults from the test drive. So what do you got? Is the yellow jacket going to move in? Because the yellow jacket could knock me over, depending on the kind of support weapons that he's brought. Although at the same time, the yellow jacket could also knock, well, not knock the catapult over, but definitely hurt the catapult in ways that the catapult would otherwise prefer not to be hurt. So that is one of the advantages of hugging your opponent. Although if I can get on out of here, I'm definitely going to do it. We got to get this javelin out before it falls over. Phase 10. Round 6 up to 30. 22. Fins not... Fins up. Fin, you're out of here. Vigilance. Get rid of all of that. You're going to run. So as soon as he recalculates the fact that he can actually run now. But yeah, that is... We're not going to keep him anywhere near this. He has done his job. He has scouted the force. He has moved them into interesting positions. We're going to be able to get a lot of diagonal shots if we keep this up. And, yeah. As soon as you're ready, we're going to get the heck on out of here. Because that's just too dangerous to actually hang around in. I don't really care that we're going to have flames in the area. We're just going to run. I also don't want to give you an opportunity to shoot me, in the back. Could go for a sensor lock. Although that would prevent me from doing really cool stuff in the future. I'd like to run as far as I could. Unfortunately, probably won't end as well as I'd like it to be. Can't break a line of sights here, unfortunately. I was really hoping that I could break a line of sight somewhere, but that's just not going to happen. If I can stay within cover, though, that would be ideal. My right side is a slightly better side, so we're going to rush on over here. We'll be easy and protected. Picked up the heat, but who cares? We will take care of that without too much trouble. Just got to get the javelin away from that catapult, because that catapult is way too dangerous to us. Jester is going to come up into the Griffin. Okay, so now we're going to be able to help out a lot more with taking out those missiles. 22% was that? Switch it over to a standard penetrator. Oh, it's only a 17. Yeah, give it to him. Missed pretty bad, but we got 2 hits with the medium lasers, and we started a fire. So the more fires we start by him, the better position that we're actually going to be in. I know it's weird, but the fires that are by him will burn and eventually force him forward instead of back. 21%, wrap that sucker up. Got a hit. Okay, so the catapult is starting to take a little bit more damage. As long as the Kitsutsuki doesn't jam a gun, he'll be fine. Although I may end up using the sensor lock off of the javelin in order to just ensure that the catapult can't avoid the next couple of rounds of shooting. Catapult's going to pull back. He doesn't want any more of this, and he's going to open fire with LRMs. What?
Reporting major armor loss.
What did you hit me with? Because MRMs do not have that capability at all. So, MMLs? That doesn't make sense. He was firing 30 shots. Interesting. We're going to have to figure that out. Shoot the yellow jacket because the chances are pretty good. And, oh, penetrator hits. That's good. I'd like to wipe out this yellow jacket before we can do anything. And the Ripper shows up as being the other thing that we were currently waiting on. Shadowhawk can come sprinting on forward. Hopefully get an angle on somebody. That's actually who I want to go to. The guy in the back. 4%, 16%, 28%. I've got 80 listen kills open for. We're going to go through these really fast, but if I can take him out of the sky, like we just did, we don't have to worry about that anymore. So 25% of the initial smuggler forces have been defeated, now of course including the other lances, and that'll put us in a nice, comfortable position. Burner Boy can really come in on this. I mean, it would be very powerful to just go right up on top here, but also exceedingly vulnerable. Who else is up next? We're on phase 18. We've got a 17 for the Paladin. So Paladin's currently driving the Shadehawk. So we've got the Shadehawk, Howl's Gladiator. Paradox already went. Death Crusade already went. Right, so we've got a couple of mechs that are coming up, but they're not actually going to be in a position to support us as we move forward. If I move here, that will not put me in good range for the Flamers, but it will put me in good range for the Tag. So if we shut that off, you'll notice we have a much less good range. I am going to make this move here, not go as balls to the wall aggressive. Obviously, we can't engage the helicopter with flamers for some reason, but they can shoot us with flamers. What did just explode? Did we? You can kill rippers with flamers if you miss the target. Okay, I'm going to count that as a win. So the Ripper's dead. Burner Boy proving that even on a turn where we're not going to go super aggressive, it can be incredibly dangerous. Looks like there was no minefield planted right there, so that's good. We'll be in the side angle shot here. That'll support things a little bit. And fairly decent accuracy. So let's go full in on this. Got a good PPC hit and... Oh, structure exposed already. That catapult's not going to have a good day if we keep that pressure on. Oh, that's the greatest thing ever. Oh, I am so happy about that. You have no idea. 12%. I just said I shouldn't be shooting. I missed by 77%, which is about as bad as it could have been. But that's all right. We will just continue to move on in towards him, and eventually we will outdo him. Although I'm kind of wondering, why is the Gladiator so much accurate? What do you got in your head? You've got a rangefinder plus and fire control system energy. Still, I'm kind of surprised that you're just... Ooh. More LBX autocannon fire. Luckily for us, most of the shots managed to miss, although he did manage to nail us with one of the large pulse laser blasts. I'm going to charge on top of you so hard with the Burner Boy in the next round. Hopefully that'll even shut off your EMS. Although it does help, or ECM, that we knocked out the Yellow Jacket, because the Yellow Jacket not providing ECM is probably going to hurt him a lot, and the Ripper may have been giving him a little bit of protection as well, because the Rippers generally are equipped with that when they're not, you know, the bog standard 2 medium laser Rippers. But yeah, now the fire is starting to work a little bit against us because we're trying to get in here and it's going to spread on towards us. So Firewall didn't have enough time to get built in order to keep us from being able to have him not retreat back to the road where it's safe, where there can be no fire. Although I wonder if we used certain chemical weapons, like chemical accelerants, if we could set the road on fire. That'd be interesting to find out. Although really the important thing, though, is going to be to get Burner Boy on top of this. This will totally wipe him out. But yeah, I'm wondering how you fired that. Because that was a lot of LRMs for a ton of stability damage. You shouldn't have been able to do that, and that really kind of confuses me. I'm really just puzzled as to what weapon that would be, because there's no MML-30 unless it's a risk MML-30. In which case, if he has a risk MML-30, then... Wait, is there a risk MML-30? I know they go up to 20, because we've actually, you know, built one with 20 in the Shadowhawk. So the Shadowhawk is currently mounting 40 MML tubes, courtesy of having 2 risk MML-20s, which is a bit broken, but still it's... Oh, it works for that mech because that mech is fairly terrible. It's a Shadowhawk 2H, so the 2H has horrible hardpoints. You get 1 energy, 3 ballistic, 3 missile. So what do you build with it? A missile boat, more or less. Originally, we had a risk MML-15 incoming Gauss rifle. Okay, that'll be interesting. So we've got to take care of a Gauss rifle carrier at some point. Hopefully that is equipped to a flyer so I can shoot it down super easy. It is. Okay, so is that the Balak? No, it's a Yellow Jacket with a Gauss rifle. Gotcha. Alright, so the Javelin is just going to start sprinting at ultra high speeds, and I'd like to keep a line of... Yes, that's what I wanted. And he's just here to mark people out. Oh, we even managed to hit him a couple of times with the medium lasers, and that'll be an inspired result on our pilots, so we're feeling just a little bit more aggressive about it. You have to listen to the cue, because as you can see, the bar is a little bit somewhat invisible. You can barely see it through Death Crusade's thing. I know they've been working on trying to fix that. Let's see, Jester in the Griffin could just start really pushing the pressure, and really I kind of want to put the Griffin on forward, because that AMS proved to be very helpful in keeping the Burner Boy from taking too much damage. So, yeah, we're not going to shoot the Yellow Jacket. Ooh, a Hetzer. Oh, were you the one with the gas rifle? That could have been it. I think it's the Yellow Jacket still, but... Oh, dead on hit, right torso destroyed. So it is a heavy MRM-30, so apparently heavy MRMs can fire in indirect fire mode? That's weird. In any event, we are going to attempt to steal that other heavy MRM. Although, it would have been better if you had an XL engine, because then I could steal the entire Catapult 3, because we're so close to having an entire Catapult 3. 20% is not all that good, but I'm going to shoot him. Okay, a little bit more pressure onto him. We want him to make sure that he understands he's in a bad spot to be. And with one of his torsos gone, that's even better. Right, so I will break line of sight with that. If he wants to get me, he's going to have to come down here. Hi, buddy. Prepare for all the fire. Is that going to kill you? Plus 80 heat. Yeah, he's going to have a bad day. Now take care of your heat problems, sir. I've got you mostly. In fact, I'm gonna shut you down. You don't even know what I'm about to bring to you. Bring on the SRMs. A little bit toasty? Sure, but you know what? Inferno time, baby. All the fire. And he's off. And he's feeling a bit stressed. Yeah, you're over the red line, but you know what? You completely torched a mech. It's beautiful. Which means the Kitsutsuki can now come in. And maybe get a headshot? I mean, that'd be really cool. 99%. Start rolling for headshots, baby, and roll high. So that's a knockdown and a panic. So he's on fire. He's in a shut-off mech. He's surrounded. Dude, bail. I'm just going to keep firing at that head until I blow it off. Did we get a pilot injury? We did not. You... Whoa. This is why I named it the Kitsutsuki. Because he just keeps pecking until you're dead. Ironfield coming on forward. Going to be aggressive and shoot down at me? Oh, yeah. As to be... Ooh, actually wasn't expecting against the Shadowhawk, but you know what? We have the armor for it. We're tough enough. Gotta look at a little bit better heat dissipation for this mech. It cooks a little bit fast. Right, Paladin in the Shade Hawk could run through the flames, and he doesn't really care because at the end of the day, he's driving a mech that does not give a crap about fire. Just run right on in here. Actually, we'll just be hyper aggressive on this. I'd like to take your head. How much health? Yeah, if I get a lucky 8.3. Engine destroyed. I don't think we actually caught him out though on that one, because I think he had like 90 something health, didn't he? And that gun only does 70 something, so it may have caught him out, in which case it's not the worst thing. AMS to the rescue! Oh, this thing was amazing, and just... Apparently only 7 got shot down by AMS. It looked really impressive, though. Oh, that was beautiful. Alright, so also the other great thing about having that catapult out of the fight is he's no longer providing any sort of actual protection in terms of ECM. So, hi buddy. Okay, structure exposed on the Enfield already. It's not an Enfield. And already we are starting to push up quite well. The Burner Boy is in the middle of fire, which is a bit of a problem. We'll be able to bounce him out of fire, and that shouldn't be too much of a problem as we continue to move forward. But we are going to have to keep an eye on that, and he might even... Yeah, he's definitely going to be able to torch him pretty good on that one. Assuming he can get a good accuracy maneuver. There is so much fire. That's what you get when you start bringing all of the burners. Do you have an XL engine? I kind of don't think you do. Your LBX doesn't look all that powerful, and the large pulse laser is only 7 tons, although... Huh, maybe not. You're a 50-ton mech. The LBX, if it's a 5, it'll be 8-ish tons. If it's a 10, it'll be 11 tons, 18 tons, plus the ammunition, 20 or so tons, plus 3 more NRG weapons. Yeah, you might actually have an XL engine, because you've got 20-something tons worth of pain right there. Fim, let's just see if we can't get this all set up in the way that we're supposed to. We'll come up right next to you, provide ECM fields, and then drill a little bit. But the point was in order to get the target acquired. Everything else is pointless, but then again... Ooh, I'm not going to be able to take advantage of that as much as I'd like to. Alright, I can get the Shade Hawk over to the side angle, and that would be helpful. But can I get a direct line of sight here? You know what? Can't push quite that far up. If I do that, I'll actually be in a position to not get the kind of damage that I'm looking for, because I need to have him within the minimum range bracket. 39%. Maybe we'll... Missed pretty badly. So not great. Really, the Shade Hawk has been suffering a little bit because there's just too much in between him and the targets. We haven't been providing him the opportunities to succeed that he kind of deserves to have. Paradox, you are in the Wolverine, which, if you can get a side angle shot, but the Kitsutsuki could also do a really good job of this. Unfortunately, it's jammed the gun. Great, so he's also on phase 15, so if I want to start taking advantage of his current position, I'm going to have to move now. He would have to move through flames, which is a little less than ideal, because this mech is not particularly great about heat. It's the SRM launcher that becomes a problem. Yeah, I'm not quite sure if we're hitting very much on this at all. So it will now be on to him, he'll move, and then we will nail him with a sensor lock from the Kitsutsuki, which will hopefully keep him from being able to get too far away from us. But yeah, a lot of fire. He did actually move through the fire in order to get that cannon shot. Quite a bit of damage on the Shade Hawk actually on that one. Managed to get a whole bunch of 6 damage pellets.
Reporting major armor loss.
Yeah, LB-10 maybe? He's got to have an XL engine. That thing's got to be incredibly vulnerable. And then he managed to hit us with a small laser. So if that's the case... Yeah, we'll just have Coach sprint on forward. And... Oh. Oh, he's not an ace pilot. Oh, I have the wrong pilot in the Kitsutsuki right now. Right. Oh, and the Rack 2's on jam, so that'll be great. So we'll be able to continue to put the pressure on next round. We don't want to go into flames for obvious reasons. After all, the mech does not handle fire all that great. We can, however, just provide ECM protection to all. Alright, so you were born in flames, you were raised in flames, and you shall continue to fight in flame. So we need to move over to the right side in order to, 1, get the exact shot that I'm looking for. Surprise! Oh, it's 50-somethings all around. And plus 68 heat, that's an engine critical. And now you're over the line, and I'm just going to keep that going until you die. Alright, Jester's Griffin could probably get a decent angle on this, actually. I can get an unobstructed line of sight, but there in the middle of the burning flames is a single solitary perfect shot, although I can move slightly behind it and not be in the burning flames, which I'll attempt to do because the mech is not that cold. Fire! Managed to miss, unfortunately, but we did hit him with a couple of the medium laser follow-ups. I can't rely on the Shadow Hawk to just utterly nail the target on this one, unfortunately, because he's cooking a little bit, and I gotta take care of that. Incoming AMS fire. Oh, actually, no AMS actual defense, but incoming LRM fire. But luckily for us, no actual manages to connect on that one, and we should be able to just keep the momentum rolling forward, especially since you didn't break contact with the Gladiator. So we're just gonna run the Gladiator right up on top of you. Hi, my friend, my buddy, my pal. And Twin PPC managed to blow up his large pulse laser, tore off his arm, I think. And he has a couple of engine crits, and the MML has unjammed, so we're ready to shoot again with that one. But yeah, his torso has got to be exposed if we got so many engine crits, unless we were getting through armor criticals rather severely, which I kind of don't think to be the case. We're on 16. Does anybody come? Nope, we've already all gone, so the follow-up is going to have to be in the next turn, which if I can get Burner Boy up there first. Oh, we got a battle axe. Oh my. So 70-ton heavy. Unfortunately, it's not one of the 70-ton heavies that I have, so taking advantage of that is not going to be particularly easy. A bit unfortunate. By the way, we were able to jump out of the flames in order to produce the amount of heat damage that we took, which, you know, got us into a position and avoided torching the mech a little bit too much. However, the Burner Boy is going to have to probably take a turn soon in order to chill out, although it doesn't generate that much heat when it goes maximum flame. In fact, it may even be heat neutral with just one flame off. Okay, we got the Hetzer moving forward. Doesn't look like it's actually going to get in range to do anything. Finn could actually go after either side, couldn't he? Oh, no, never mind. He does have to go after this side if at all possible. So give me an unobstructed line of sight, if you please. There it is. So we're going to shift on right over here. You're pretty evasive, but not that evasive. Yeah, Finn should be in the Kitsutsuki. So I got a target acquired on the Einfield, which is good. And that will allow... Ooh, nobody that I want to follow up at the moment. Sprint to get you within range. This is going to move you over rough terrain, but not too bad. Obstructed, unobstructed, and in minimum range brackets. So 47%. Folks, we got some good hits on that one. He's almost out of armor on the one side, and he's almost no longer evasive, which would be really, really good if I can get the Shade Hawk in a proper position for that side angle shot. Unfortunately, that's going to be within his minimum range, I think. Yeah, so we can't make that shot. I could, however... You know what? Take the shot sitting still. We're in close range. Wow. Missed by 13%. So if you had managed to hit that, that would have made him unsteady, which would have made everybody else's life a lot easier. A bit unfortunate on that one. We will share the stability and move on to Coach, who can move the Kitsutsuki in. And the Kitsutsuki does have a minimum range, which I need to actually view. It's a huge minimum range, by the way, because it's an AC2. I mean, it's a rank 2, but still, it is an AC2. Gonna set the sucker, wind it down to 5 shots. Oh no, the accuracy is the same. Alright, engine destruction. Took care of it. The humble urban mech with its little woodpecker rack AC2. Rack AC? That's a bit of a... Yeah, that's a jumbo shrimp right there. I'm trying to remember what that's actually called. Alright, so the battle axe is currently probably the most dangerous thing on the field at the moment. It's not part of the primary target, so that danger thing could change in relatively short order. I'm going to move the Gladiator, see if we can't start to engage that Helichopper. Oh, for amazing accuracy, we can shoot that Yellow Jacket down, please, and a PPC managed to rip it clean out of the sky. 75% of the initial smuggler force is dead, 50% of the supporting lance is dead, none of the reinforcements are dead just yet. I assume that you're the last part of the initial force there. Can I get Death Crusade? Yeah, we'll get Jester moving in the Griffin, because we do have some flames to get through on the way, unless I can avoid it. No, he's basically engulfed in flames at this point, so he may as well just run as fast as he can get to. So get on out of that. I could fire the Thunderbolt, so we're not going to shoot it at all. We'll just keep the temperature more or less under control. The mech wasn't designed to do that anyway. And then I will rush on up here before I too can be engulfed in flames in the Shadowhawk, so we'll get on there and hopefully be able to use those Infernos to great effect in order to take care of other things. But so far, the Einfield was killed by a side engine destruction. I think the Catapult we may have actually killed, so that's a bit unfortunate because I would have loved to have stolen it. Stolen it. So that's a little bit unfortunate, but not the worst thing in the world. The Einfield we got pretty much mostly intact, and I'm going to see if I can't come down here and immolate you before you can do anything. If I shut off one of these flamers... Yeah, I'm back under control. So just need a couple of hits, and there... Oh, he had a UAC. Interesting. So if that was a UAC 20, that might be worth stealing. I mean, we don't have a mech to use it. I could cram it into... Okay, incoming autocannon fire on the Burner Boy, but not able to connect. I could cram it into the bushwhacker that we're building. Unfortunately, I went in a different direction in order to make it a little bit more effective. Also, it's a very common bushwhacker style that I build to twin PPC. That's got to be the Battle Axe. Battle Axe, if I recall correctly, is very similar to the Thug and the Warhammer, and so they go with the twin PPC on the arms thing, which is a solid, reliable setup. I mean, we're doing the exact same thing in the Gladiator. We've gone twin arm-mounted PPCs for this exact reason. They're a good, solid setup. However, seeing it on the enemy is going to be a little bit interesting. Yeah, so we are going to have to pull the Burner Boy back at some point soon, just to get the temperature under control. Also, you know, handle a couple of things that are starting to get outstanding. That little bit of additional on the pain that we've taken in stability. But yeah, we do need to start shutting down some more of these VTOLs so that we can not have to worry too much about that. Got a Bulldog with UAC something. Okay, so you're the one that shot me. Right, Javelin gonna come surging on forward over here. We're gonna get to right point blank range to see if we can't minimize the amount of interference that your defensive systems will play. And didn't quite kill him. He's got a rotary AC-5, which, you know, would be quite useful to steal. The mech is a little bit critical, but that'll be fine. For now, anyway. The Javelin is already quite badly damaged. It's not penetrated yet, but it is not... Oh, a blackjack. Yeah, the Javelin's not in that bad of shape right now, but it is something to keep an eye on. Coach, the Kitsutsuki, can you play your anti-aircraft role? Not really, but you could play a long-range fire support role against the blackjack, which would be pretty hilarious to me. Let's go find out. 21%. Let's ramp the feed rate down to 3. And got a good hit on that. That's not too terrible. I actually need to pay attention to how much ammo he's got. We generally have so much ammunition on that mech that it's kind of like not even a point to care about. But it is something we should pay attention to. Swinging on over here. Hi, I do need to shut off another flamer to keep the heat under control, and that will do it. So both of our main flamers are offline, but they deal a little bit less. Once we get them overheated, then they deal a little bit more, which is how one of the reasons why I feel okay with having him. Like, so got a good tag on him, plus an additional of 18 heat, so not terrible. Not amazing, but not terrible. Let's go helicopter hunting if we can. We cannot. So if we can't go helicopter hunting, we're going to have to play a long-range PPC game with somebody who can out-PPC us. Oh, there we go. We can play the helicopter game. Let's do that. Twin. Yeah, shut off the MMLs. I don't think they're going to be needed. Because even if we hit his side, I think we will deal enough damage. There we go. 56 damage, and it's gone. So another one of the helicopters down. We're 75-75 on the smuggler supporting and normal forces. The reinforcements are still doing somewhat okay, but we will hopefully be able to take care of them soon. Paladin in the Shadowhawk has, I saw... Ooh, I didn't even see you. Right, let's go make sure that you don't get a chance to actually do anything. Give me a direct line of sight, please. There you go. That'll also reduce the minimum height problem that we'll be having. Oh, never mind, you got the Gauss rifle. Right, well, he's not going to hit this anyway. Yep. I said that mostly so I could be like, oh, but he hit anyway. But no, it did not work. Reverse psychology did not work on the dice, unfortunately. Can get a line of sight right there. So I'm going to task a couple of people to take care of it, because having this mech in my backline is not exactly great. We'll fire just the ultra autocannon. Didn't connect, but we were kind of expecting that. He appears to have some sort of stealth system on board, so that might be making life just a little bit more difficult for us. Shadowhawk could come over here. I don't think I have the range for it. No, I actually don't have a shot. Switch over to listen, kill LRMs. That will actually give me a shot. It's not going to be a great shot, but it'll hopefully be able to do something. Give me an E-War ping. How long does it take to this to cool down? There is a 2-round cooldown of this energy turn. Yeah, activate the probe.
I've got a sensor lock.
Alright, so we got a sensor lock on him. That was a bit of a waste of any warping, but I don't think I'm going to use it over the next 2 turns, because now we've got a sensor lock, so I can bring over the Griffin with your Thunderbolts.
I'm already there.
So this is not a great chance to hit if I shut off the medium lasers. And actually, how about if I just attack ground? Yeah, that'll work. So we will lob a single Thunderbolt in high explosive mode. And get a little bit of damage onto it. Again, it's not much, but hey, it makes you feel better at the end of the day. He's got an energy and 2 missiles. So that could be a lot of different things. I mean, theoretically, he could be carrying a hyper laser, and that would make that energy incredibly dangerous. Why are you showing me a Balak off in the distance? Oh, it's just the camera playing silly games. Alright, so down to phase 17. I think we've gone through most people except maybe Jester, but other than that, we should be mostly good. Phase 15, I'm assuming this block is going to move. After all, I've got 4 mechs heading towards it. Okay, somebody's coming in for the burner boy. Quite a bit of damage actually getting marked down. Luckily for us, none of it actually managed to connect, so we are going to be nice and safe and sound on that one. And are you actually going to move? Oh, we got Yellow Jacket shifting on forward. So we're going to have to shift over to try and take that, because that's dangerous. Luckily for us, he wasn't actually able to connect, but still, I wouldn't actually want to play games with that. Alright, who's up? Phase 11, Phase 1, Round 11, Phase 23, and Coach is ready to play. So I'm going to shift Coach a little bit further forward. And hi, buddy. I'm you, except I do your job way better. Go up to 5, because it looks like good accuracy. So got some damage penetrating on through on that blackjack. He's not having the greatest of days. And it looks like the battle axe has moved on forward. Paladin, Shadehawk, Paradox, and the Wolverine, Death Crusade, and the Shadowhawk. Great. So I do have a sensor ping still active on him, so if I can get the Wolverine in range, I might actually be able to get a little bit of extra damage. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sprint for that range to get that minimum range bracket. There we go. That's what we wanted, and there's the accuracy. Blast him with everything you've got. Okay, the block is down. So that'll take 100% of the standard smuggler forces, and that objective has been removed. Now we get to take out other people.
Commander.
Death Crusade's Shadowhawk can actually get a ranging shot on what appears to be the yellow jacket up over here. I'm going to... Yeah, we'll keep it on listen kills. This will be our last listen kill salvo. But if I just get a couple of good hits on him, structure exposed, so that'll be healthy. We just need a little bit more damage onto him, so another just a rapid missile shot might be able to actually pull something off on that one. The Shade Hawk can come on forward as well with his gas rifle. I doubt it has a target, and I may just start restricting... Yeah, shoot it. I gotta give him a chance. He missed by 1%. Just the one, so that's not terrible. So feeling pretty happy about that one despite the 1%. So he still has 12 rounds to go because he's got double Gauss ammo, which gives him 20 rounds, which is helpful. It's very, very helpful. We got more incoming long-range missiles on the Burner Boy. Luckily for us, doesn't... Ooh, only a single hit. So having lots of evasion in an ECM system is proving to be incredibly reliable. Finn,
Aye, aye.
yeah, your Javelin, you're going to have to run through some fire, which is a little less than ideal. I don't actually know how badly damaged you are. Oh, we do. Okay, lovely. So he's got a rack 5, and he's got a very open front torso. Well, not torso, but you get the idea. The mech is on fire!
Can't vent all this heat.
Yeah, let's see if I can't take care of the heat problem. Yeah, the heat problem is not going to be taken care of at all. So we'll go slightly over the line so I can just shut off next turn. I was hoping to give him a chance to maybe shoot it down, be super impressive, but it did not end up happening.
Negative damage.
So it looks like we got a little bit too much hit on the rotor itself. This mech can't actually explode anymore. We've already gotten rid of his rocket pod, so that's not a concern at all. Hi, buddy. I'm going to boil just a little bit in order to kill you.
Copy that, Commander.
Because this ought to be plus 39 heat, and he's critical. And I'm going to run on back, and we'll take care of our heat in the next turn. So still hanging around to provide the Kitsutsuki with a little bit of point defense in terms of ECM. The Griffin can now come on forward. And do you have actual shots on anybody? Because you are fairly solidly equipped for, long-range fire support. I think I may want to continue in a similar vein with this one. I don't think I want to shoot at that, because you are too close. Oh no, you're not that close. Okay, try not to hit the Javelin. Because the Javelin's a little bit dented. There we go, another couple of hits on him. Again, it's not much, but we're hunting for anything we can get at this moment. So it did like, what, 5-10 damage in total? Spread out across the entire thing. Oh, he's a DB or a BJ2. Or, actually no, he's got missiles. Huh. What are you? Not quite familiar with that blackjack. And he's overheating, and apparently he's successful in taking care of his overheat. We will hopefully be able to take care of that in the near future. Gonna move the Gladiator on up, because it's proven to be a fantastic anti-aircraft weapon. Gonna turn the MMLs on, just in order to give it a little bit more punch. There we go. So another yellow jacket destroyed. That was the entirety of the supporting lance, and now we get to focus on the reinforcements. So we've already killed the Hetzer, which was part of the reinforcements, and there are 3 more units in total as part of that. That'll be the UAC tank, maybe. If that Bulldog is part of it, I'll be a little bit surprised, but... Oh, no, he is. Huh, interesting. Yeah, the Bulldog is part of smuggler reinforcements. So these are the 3 smuggler reinforcements, and then we have the smuggler himself. So Finn is a toasty, so what we're going to do is we're just going to take a nice little stroll. Keep the temperature under control, brace it up, take care of all of his problems, give him a chance to breathe. And the Kitsutsuki can just unload on you, honestly. If I can get a side angle... No, I can't get that side angle shot, unfortunately. If I move right here, I can get a side angle shot. 85%! Oh, that's a beautiful amount of accuracy. Can I ramp that up even more? I'll take the 80. Oh, it was beautiful! Just right on through. And it lost its evasion, which means we'll be able to have excellent times going after him, especially if I can get a lot of sight on him with the Wolverine, because the Wolverine is designed for this sort of long-range combat. Unfortunately, going after the Balak did keep us in the back a little bit, so we're going to have to just sprint to get back on forward. Paladin's Shadehawk actually should have an amazing shot to give on that last guy, but we're not going to have an angle on it. That is unfortunate. Okay, we will have our maneuver for an angle on the UAC tank. 52%, that's the best shot he's had all day. And he missed by 42% still. Hopefully he hit the ground and not somebody, because that'd be bad. I don't think there's anybody in front of him to actually hit, so that'll be good. But yeah, so the Kitsutsuki really making a name for itself. I kind of wish that I could ramp up the firepower even more on that mech, just in order to make it so that I could really start torching people. So we're going to get right up close and personal again, and I am going to shut off a couple of flamers, just get the heat back under control. Can I go? Not yet. So we'll go this, because, ooh, he's overheating. So we'll turn these flamers back on. Shut off this flamer and this flamer instead, and go for the additional overheat damage. And plus 67 heat. Yeah, he's going to be shutting down at some point. He's not going to be able to sink this much heat, even if he has a double heat sink kit. He doesn't have enough. So yeah, you're handled, buddy.
Good to go.
You may not have realized it yet, but you have been taken care of. So can I get a line of sight? Only against that, and I don't feel like shooting at it right now. So I'm going to start moving into a position where I can engage somebody else next turn. We'll keep the MMLs more or less not firing. We'll get rid of our heat on that mech so it can stay nice and well, nice and chill. Do I have it angled yet? I do. It's a back angle shot with the Griffin. Oh, that should be lovely. We're able to run through the rough terrain. We'll switch the Thunderbolt back onto a standard mode, although we are running out of ammunition pretty gosh darn quick. Let's hope we don't hit a friendly. Oh, nailed it! I really like how Thunderbolts fly. The whole zigzag back and forth into the target, it looks really cool. It kind of reminds me of firing a semi-active homing missile, like a TOW or something like that, which, you know, you'd think they'd be a little bit more common in BattleTech, but they're just not. So lots of little missiles, big missiles not so common until Thunderbolts came along, and I really like them because of that, just because they add a lot of interesting variety to the game. So even though they're basically missile autocannons, which have the ability to be completely shut off by AMS. Speaking of AMS, I love the fact that that Griffin is there. Shot down the 6 missiles that would have actually hit us, or potentially hit us. Looks like the Bulldog is coming out of cover. Gonna fire his UAC towards the Gladiator, not able to connect, so we are still nice and safe on that one. We are invulnerable to whatever you can throw. Alright, Jester in the Griffin. Follow-up attack, let's just finish him off if at all possible. Actually, how much does he got left? Oh, he's got enough for me to invest. And right torso destroyed, and I think that took out the rest of the mech. At the very least, his engine is gone. Alright, so Jester can now sort of shift on out of here. Actually, yeah, go back up the mountain. Ooh, I'd prefer not to go through flames. So, but yeah, go up the mountain in order to have the accuracy, well, the height advantage on that one. So the Javelin did manage to chill out. And we'll now fire a tag off in this direction just in order to take care of things. Missed by 11%, not the worst thing in the world, but it would have been nice to actually get the tag on him so we'd have an easier time. If I can get the Burno Boy on top of that, it will be able to wipe out, well, the entire lack of the enemy. So that actually is in range, right? Yeah, barely. I could spend a turn chilling out. I mean, or, you know, diving on top of him immediately. He is a PPC carrier, after all. Hi, you're basically a Warhammer. Do you have your own model, or are you just a Warhammer? Yeah, you're a Warhammer. And to be fair, Warhammers look really cool, but he does not actually have his own model. So tag to on. Can I turn the flamer on? I cannot, but I'm heat neutral at this point, so I'm going to turn off the 2++ flamers, turn on the standard flamers for the additional heat damage that they'll actually do, and let's get this party barbecued. Starks are exposed, plus 56 heat, so good luck finding your PPCs now, buddy. The Shadowhawk is... Can you get a line of sight? Please tell me you get a line of sight. Oh, can't get a line of sight. Very unfortunate. I would have really liked to have gotten one. I will give him another round to try and unjam that MML. It is ready to go, so the next time he crosses that threshold, he's going to be able to absolutely nail somebody. Shadehawk, 76%, come on. There we go, he managed to hit it. I think he hit the turret, unfortunately, or the front of it. So that's not going to be quite as good as I was hoping, but hey, it'll work. Yeah, he hit the front of it for sure. Okay, sprint on forward. Let's see if we can't get some fire into that guy. 26%. Run that gun down to the 5 mode and just start unloading. Oh, taken care of by the Kitsuzuki. It just picks its way on through with that rotary autocannon too, and I love it. Alright, Howl. Yes, Howl does have a line of sight, and Howl can start getting to work on this guy. We have an advantage of height. Unfortunately, not as good accuracy as I was hoping. I may end up switching these MMLs to Inferno runs. 2 good hits with the PPCs, plus the SRM follow-up. He's got LRM 5s as his backup. That's what we're dealing with here. Paradox's Wolverine is probably not actually going to get involved in this fight, ever. Can you jump further? No, you can get a little bit less. But we will attempt to continue to get it in the range. Alright, enemy phase. What are they going to do with that mech? I suspect they might punch, because that would be the reasonable idea to do. Also, the name is BattleTech. Apparently not, though. He's going to go up close and personal with a point-blank range PPC barrage, which is not going to do anything for his heat control on that. And misfire on the PPC because he decided to go full over, and he's overheating quite badly, as the case may be. I hope I can move the Gladiator away before the Shadowhawk comes up. I kind of doubt it, though. Finn! Alright, so we're back to the beginning of the phase, so let's start getting the work done. So first things first, we're going to target you. And the main reason we're going to target you is for the tag. Okay, the tag has been gotten on, which is good. And now Coach, with the Kitsutsuki, could actually probably kill him without too much trouble. Unfortunately, Coach has jammed the gun, so he won't actually be doing that. We'll just run him around over here and brace up. Rack is unjammed and ready to roll, which will be lovely. He is moving on 20. Paradox is the Wolverine. Is anybody going to be on 20? No, he's going to get an opportunity to go, which is unfortunate. So we'll rush up over here. We got some EC protection going down, and we're just going to keep the rate of fire going. Try not to tear off his arm if we can at all help it. Is that going to be sufficient?
Critical hit, Commander.
He's not unsteady, unfortunately. Okay, and now he gets to move. Again, I would have shot, or I would have punched. I would not be shooting my PCCs at point-blank range, but apparently he wants to. And he's now within the AMS bubble of the Griffin, which means all 6 of those missiles got shot up, and he's emergency shut down.
Waiting for orders.
Mockingbird could bring the Burner Boy, but really want to do is... Okay, so I need to attack him from his right side. I want to see if I can't take him mostly intact. We did take this one for the things, so if I can take him intact, that would be ideal. Clang -1 initiative, which is good.
Commander,
This will also give you a chance to chill out, which you kind of need.
rolling.
I should attack him from the back with one of my lighter mechs. Okay, that's alright. I'm 6, crit. Come on, buddy. Please give up. And a tag. Paladin, you have a Shadehawk, which does 41 damage. I was about to say 90 damage, but no. Your back torso is good. We need to... Really, your torsos are about to go away. So I'm going to kick you in the back. See if I can't make you eject. No, he went for the torso. That's unfortunate. I wanted to take as much of this thing intact as possible.
Orders.
So this is a bit... I can't say sadistic, but it's... We are definitely sort of messing with him a little bit. Shoot him in the back. Don't shoot that. Don't shoot that. Don't shoot that.
Got the drop on you, pal. Not sorry.
Near attack. He's only unsettled? Are you kidding me? This is the sturdiest pilot I've ever met. In which case, just stand in front of him, give him a punch to the face, and maybe you'll hit a center torso. Okay, Clang, initiative. Dude, you're surrounded. You're on fire. He's panicking now. Okay, good.
Receiving.
Finn, we're going to see if we can't continue the encirclement. He's never going to be able to turn on. I mean, that is just facts at this point. Come on, eject. You're surrounded, dude. You've been tagged. You've been marked. He's panicking, but he's not ejecting. All I want you to do is to leave the mech, man. Leave the mech. I'll take it from you. It'll be great. It'll be fine. Never before have I wished so hard that we hit his arm.
My way.
Kill confirmed, Commander.
Pilot lethal. Oh, he hit the head. Good job. Okay, so that's most of that mech. We're not going to get all 5 parts like I wanted, but hey, that's not terrible. All right, let's start getting on the move as we start to engage the final target, who may be even in an even bigger mech. Although, if we're really lucky, he will also be in a battle axe. Because if he's in a battle axe, then we will have sufficient number of parts to rebuild it.
What are your orders?
But we have dealt with all the supporting forces. It is just us and him now, although if I can get the Kitsutsuki up on the mountaintop, I probably should. But really, it has proven to be an excellent addition to the field. Are you going to move forward? Oh, I saw it flash up for a second. I couldn't see it.
Waiting for orders.
I wasn't looking close enough. I wasn't expecting it to happen. I was just expecting the thing to move, and so I wasn't looking to read. But then again, I was elected to lead, not to read. So let us continue our rush on forward. After all, he's the only guy left. And we're going to make sure that we can kill him in basically 1 round. Actually, if I can, box him in, which I have a sufficient number of mechs to do. You only need 6 of them.
Stepping in.
We might even be able to fully control him. The Burner Boy is going to be nice and chill. The MMLs should all be ready to go, which will be great, which means we can just overheat this guy. It's a Hunchback GI. Really? All that for a Hunchback GI. Wouldn't have taken it for that, but I suppose that's what we got. Okay, rush on forward.
Copy that, Commander.
Don't have a target, but that's okay. He's super evasive in his RHW.
Commander?
To think that used to carry a Howitzer 2000, and we stripped out that moderately useless gun and threw in a fantastic Rack 2 that has just been blitzing everything we come across. It's amazing, and I love it. Okay, Hunchback GI, shifting and maneuvering a little bit. We never really did find the guy who was carrying the gas rifle, did we? Rush on over here. I think I have like 1 more Thunderbolt HE. I have 2. Okay, so let's give him some love. Not quite there. Right there. Pop.
Primary target.
Alright, he's been touched. Now he knows that he needs to worry about being killed.
I'm receiving you.
Shadehawk, we are going to need the Shadehawk in position in the next round when it looks like the Burner Boy will be in a position, so we should be able to absolutely barbecue him into the ground. And once he's offline, we're never going to let him turn back on ever again. Because even with most of the heatsink kits that are out there that have like massive coolant flushes, I think we can actually take care of that before, or give him enough heat to prevent him from actually ever being able to shut or turn back on ever again. Or at least in any sort of reasonable time frame. To the point where we would probably burn through him. Oh wait, no! Ooh, never mind, the Shadowhawk is way in back. So that's unfortunate. It's gonna take a little bit of work to take care of him then. Alright, the Javelin, let's get you rushing on in. Let's get a line of sight on the guy. Now, I'm gonna sensor lock him.
Acknowledged.
We're not going to get the line of sight. We're instead going to go for the straight up sensor lock on top of him. He's moving at 22, which is a bit unfortunate, but this will allow us to also negatively affect his accuracy, if I recall correctly. All right, Mockingbird.
Waiting for orders.
It's time to get up close and personal on him. Up close and personal, as in sprinting. So we're going to get behind him just to mess with him. Also, because that's the weakest armor area. So he does have a Gauss rifle on board. Okay. Let's try and make sure he never gets a chance to use it. Fire. Hunchbacks generally have terrible rear armor, so that helps. Plus 80 heat, so that's almost every single one managed to hit him. Not quite, but we did have a couple of misses on that. And he's going to turn around and try and go for a point-blank range Gauss rifle shot and miss this entirely because the Gauss rifle has a minimum range. Quite a lot of pulse laser fire. And you did not take care of your heat successfully at all, so I'm just going to barbecue you by the end of it. Let's get the Shade Hawk shifting on forward. Also can get a back shot. You didn't move that far, buddy.
Everything I've got.
Alright, some more damage going down on him. Paradox in the Wolverine. Can I get a shot? Can I jump to get a shot? No, jumping would be even worse. So Paradox is going to have to wait until next turn. So if he has
Got something you want done?
not a spawn location, but if he is able to evac from where he's standing, then that is some serious negative game design because he didn't move, basically. Okay, good hits with the Thunderbolt missile. So he's out of standard Thunderbolts. He's only got HE, so we are going to have to be a little bit careful about that because now anybody he shoots at, well, anybody nearby is also going to get shot at as well. Rush on forward, some accurate PPC fire for the victory. And there goes his, there goes his ammo and his engine. We did have to core out his right torso, which took out his Gauss rifle, which kind of sucks, but we have several Gauss rifles at the moment, so it's not the worst thing in the world. Alright, so 3-skull assassinate mission down behind us. We're a little bit low on cash, but that's fine. I don't mind being so low on cash. Also, we didn't take that much damage. The Javelin took a pretty brutal sandpapering from that catapult, but additional 35%, so we made almost 400,000, which will be nice and helpful on that one. Yeah, no serious damage aside from the Javelin. Shadehawk took a pretty rough hit, and the Burner Boy took a couple of interesting ones, but other than that, I mean, the company's doing pretty good. So 3 mechs took moderate damage, one took a little bit more than moderate, but yeah, not bad at all. Could grab the catapult part. Not sure if I'm going to keep with that. I'd love to grab the Battle Axe, just because the Battle Axe is basically, well, it looks like a Warhammer right now, so that's pretty cool. Gauss rifle, another heavy armor. I have one of these, right? I don't, but I have ammo for it, right? Or don't I? I'm not quite sure. We're going to put that in the thing because I probably want it. Rotary autocannon 5s, there's 2 of them. That's a bundled. I have none. I'd like some. I may not take that, but that's the current thinking. An LB10, I love LB10s, but I don't think more of these. They're amazing. Ultra autocannon 2, no, I don't need those. Ultra autocannon 20, on the other hand, is really good. This is going to depend on a couple of things. So we have 3 weapons already that we really would like to grab. I may not need the MML-10s. We have built very heavily into MMLs, and I kind of would like to move away from that a bit because AMS can shut them down pretty hard. There is an XL engine sitting around and a Gauss fire control system. I had one, we used it, but getting another would be nice. No double heats and kit, more double Gauss rifle ammo, which is something we try and collect because basically 1 ton gets you all the stuff that you need. +1 accuracy. Is this what gave him the indirect fire capability? Area of effect, direct fire. Yeah, I have no idea how he was able to fire indirectly. Or does this give it? Yeah, I just don't know. So, this thing is going to burn through each one of these in 4 rounds, which is a bit of a problem. Augmented Thunder LRM ammo could be really interesting, but I already got 2 tons of it. Rack 5 ammo, so we could build into the Rack 5. Heavy MRMs are really good, but I think we've had too much fun with Risk MMLs. We're doing okay with them already. Do you have double... You have double UAC ammo. Ooh, that's really tempting. So the rotary AC-5 is going to weigh me 14 tons, which is basically an AC-20 or a Gauss rifle. So this would be a 55-ton mech at least. Recoil of 3 times 5 for gunnery recoil. Rear cannons have select fire. I don't know if I can basically negate that if I just... I don't know if there's a flat gunnery jam chance on that rotary 5, but there might not be. Do you have a rack 5? I have 4 tons of rack... so I don't need the ammo for this anymore. So we just don't need that. So that opens up another slot for us quite nicely. I have no slug, and I have no cluster either. So in that case, we'll grab the listen kill ammunition for the MRM. It may not be optimal, but I would like to move into an MRM because MRMs are really cool. And, you know, so a 10% jam chance is not exactly great. But the listen kill ammunition, -1 damage to 7 damage, that is what he was firing at us, but +1 accuracy on the MRMs. And it looks like the heavy MRM doesn't have the innate MRM -1 accuracy, which is pretty helpful. So this is basically improved MRM ammo, except, you know, on a heavy MRM. So yeah, let's pick up a pair of rotary AC5s. Got the catapult part anyway, but that's great. Also got 2 Einfield parts and a hunchback part. The hunchback part I don't care about. Clan ER medium laser, don't care. Angel ECM is useful. The 240 radiant fusion core is okay. It's slightly smaller than what I want, but we already got 2 of them. I'll probably end up selling it. And we got the Rack 5 ammo anyway. So the game trying to help us out on that a little bit. Unfortunately, that means I've now got 8 tons of rack ammo, and I kind of don't need that. Although, to fire every single one of them. I don't know of a mech that I have that could handle 2 rotary AC5s. I mean, I'd need like an avatar or something in order to be able to handle that much DACA, and I kind of don't think that would end up working. But yeah, we'll have to see what ends up happening on that one. But yeah, having the rotary AC5 is going to be interesting. That will allow me to sort of build into that. We recently actually built a mech in our other campaign. We took a Cougar, I believe it was, and we gave him a rotary AC5. So we'll have an opportunity to really see firsthand what that sort of gun can do through the streams, probably before we build that gun in anything else. So the rotary AC2 proved to be a lot more reliable than I thought it was going to, and it's proven to be incredibly damaging. Partially because the minimum range on that thing is huge. And even though it's on an urban mech, it has become one of our better damage dealers. So 43,000 for the next 10 days. It's a little bit steep, but okay. So we'll be able to handle that without too much trouble. We are, what, 2 weeks before the end of the month? 3 weeks, maybe? Hopefully. Almost 3 weeks. So we have some time. Yes, we're currently facing bankruptcy, but what is life if you're not challenging yourself a little bit? So we're looking at least 4 days. Yeah, the Bushwhacker's 23 days. So I will get a little spoiler on what I built the Bushwhacker into. It's a fairly normal design for what I tend to like to build Bushwhackers into, which is a ballistic with backup. Because the original Bushwhacker that I remember driving had an LB5 or an LB10, as well as an LRM 5 and an SRM 4, and a large laser in the nose. And I like that build a lot, but unfortunately what I've gravitated towards is the improved autocannon, which is the Gauss rifle. So this mech is going to have a Gauss rifle and 4 medium pulse lasers. So yeah, should ought to be pretty interesting. And if worse comes to worse, I can swap things around. It does have a Clan Gauss rifle, which is 2 tons lighter, as well as the Gauss rifle targeting system in there, so it should hopefully be incredibly accurate. Oh wow, the Kitsutsuki and the Griffin took no damage in that battle at all. This Griffin needs to be completely overhauled and rebuilt. I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I do need to do something to that. Do a quick check of, or not the hiring hall, wrong location. Sorry, I'm not interested in buying any of you people. None of you have my interest, sorry. We're going to go to the store just to check out the faction shop, see how things are sort of rolling along, see what people have managed to steal recently. AC5, so that's really terrible, actually. So basically, nobody's got any interesting ammunition in terms of autocannons today. Heavy PPC is really cool. Unfortunately, it's too expensive, and also it's very, very heavy. It's 10 tons for 80 damage. So 8 damage per ton. That's also 50 heat. Toasty. We used one of them once, which was interesting to say the least. Missiles, we've located ammo TBM4, so there's thermal bolts here, right? Or are you just normal Thunderbolt ammo? Oh no, you're just normal Thunderbolt ammo, thermal bolts. So, ooh, that's really tempting actually. Because that would help me a lot, because I'm really, really low on ammo. Incendiary ammo, LRM, Swarm improved ammunition. What does this do? Can't fully read it. Additional area of effect damage of 4 to primary and secondary targets. -1 direct fire accuracy with long-range missiles. Swarm missiles fire indirect. Oh, okay, so it's just going to scatter everywhere. The enemy doesn't bunch that much. AMS Mark II fires at any incoming missile attack. Huh, I wonder if that's good enough. Overload mode. Has 120 increased missile interception range. Use destroy missiles before they strike the target. So this supports other people because it says any missile attack. So this might be worth grabbing. I mean, just in order to have more AMS. And I'm going to be selling some stuff. So yeah, I will pick up an AMS Mark II. There were 8 of them. Jeez, what have you guys been fighting? Probably Nidog gunships. Nothing interesting in that. As far as full-on structure stuff, gunnery support A cockpit. Oh, there's 4 of them. There's an A and a B cockpit that you can put on to replace the life support systems. This gives you a +1 gunnery. So you can get a +2 gunnery on your life support systems with those things. Oh, that's really good. Let's go sell some stuff so I can grab that. Like engines. Because I have 2 240 radiant fusion cores and I want to get rid of them. Also, I have a 60 radiant fusion core and I'm going to get rid of that. No problem. No thoughts of negative whatsoever. I'm going to do this all off screen just so I can, keep the episode clean. After all, we had an excellent mission. Everybody managed to get through it without too much trouble. The Griffin proving to be surprisingly better than I thought it was, but I think it can improve. Anyway, I have been Tyrak. If you like what you've been seeing, hit that like button and subscribe before I see a notification every time I post one of these videos. Press that little bell icon, leave a comment, and join us for the streams on Wednesdays and Saturdays at 5 o'clock Eastern Time, United States. And you can join us for our apology follows Viper's campaign, a clan start with a very different philosophy on the way to play the game. Also, the people who watch us on the stream have helped out building mechs and designing things. We have a mech called the Drop Bear, which has been developed by Rekgar, one of our fans from Down Under, who has proven to be extraordinarily good at what it does. Anyway, I will see you all in the next episode.